What's up, guys? Mark Fleetwood here. Welcome back to the Daily Grind Trader. I just got back from vacation. It's my first video in almost 2 weeks. And guys, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not quite sure where to go here. I'm not quite sure where Bitcoin and therefore the market is going. I will tell you what I'm looking for to make that call and how quickly I think it can happen. Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you all about it. Alright guys, so this is Bitcoin on a daily chart. And I'm going to keep it on a daily for right now, just for the big picture aspect. Currently trading below the 200-day moving average, which is something I didn't think we'd see it this quickly. Zooming out a little bit, I mean, we were so far above the 200-day moving average that it was almost not even relevant. Like here, we were looking at the 50-day as our dynamic support. It wasn't even the 200-day as any type of support. We never got close to the 200-day. So to so quickly go from May 9th to May 19th, going under the 200-day moving average, is insane to me. It's jaw dropping how quickly we have gone technically bearish. We are technically right now in a bear market. We are trading under the 200-day moving average. Now, what I should have noticed, and I didn't, and I will be the first to admit my mistakes, and I have no problem with admitting them once I know that, obviously once I know that I've made them. Here at 64, when we came down off of 64, and the 50-day moving average did not hold as a support, should have been the first red flag. The first red flag that the 50-day moving average did not hold a support, and we broke below it. And then it became a resistance here. And you see here, like, we got above it briefly, but we were holding on to it. We couldn't quite break back off of that 50-day with any type of vigor. We were never really off of it. And anytime we got close, we sold right back down. We stuck to it, stuck around, and then we went way below it. We just, a 50-day average, we tanked it. Now, that being said, you'll see the kind of an opposite effect of when we were going long. You see here, every time, we're trading below the 7-day, and every time we move close to it, we go back away. Just like here, when we get up above it, we would come back to it, get up above it, come back to it, trade below it briefly, but then, you get these gaps above, gap above the 7-day average, and eventually you move back to it. And those were kind of the points in time where, you get the 7-day and the 50-day get close. And this is a great entry point. Right here, you're on the 50-day moving average. That's been a dynamic support. This candle goes red, sells down to the 50-day, it stops there, and then it buys back up off of it. That's a great buy-in position. That's a great position to go long. And you can go long all the way through. You have to find a point to sell out, but, going long, you've made a ton of money here. And from January 28th, even if you just go a week, from 28th to the 4th, you're in a really good position. However, switching directions, now this is going to go down. It's going to go down away from the 7-day and buy back close to it, and then go down and buy back close and go down. And we've done that. Right now we're in a bit of a range, and I think here is a critical point. We've got 2 touches of the support, or sorry, the resistance. We touched it here. We touched it here. If we get back to it, we can break out. We can break this out upward. And we've also got I'm not going to count this as a first touch because this is the baseline. Like this is just the bottom. This is our first touch of our first touch of support, and our second touch of support. Whichever way this goes to break out, if it goes up and it hits this resistance and it gets stonewalled and it gets stopped, we're going to break down and we're going to see 28, 30 to 28K drop down, and we'll be definitely undeniably in a bear market. If it breaks up and out, we've got to hit the 200-day and we've got to break above it. Now, if it breaks up, that could still be an interesting position to short. Because if it breaks up and hits this 200-day, I mean, since we've gone below it, every time we've hit it, we've had sharp drops off of it. This is our last touch, and it was in a buying day, and it touched, and it sold all the way back down. Tried to touch again, and it sold down, down, down. 3 consecutive days down. Now we're getting back up towards it. Again, we've gapped the 7-day down, so we bought back up. It might come down and touch bottom before, it might not ever make it up off of this. It might be going down here because we're going to gap the 7-day again. Or if we come up above it and start trading above the 7-day like we did here, if we break this line of dynamic resistance on this triangle, we've got to break that, and then we've got to break the 200-day. This breakout doesn't mean anything if we don't break out the 200-day moving average. So guys, I'm in a bit of a bind here, and I'm going to be honest. I am currently not in the market in any significant way. I'm pulling my money together right now to get back in to the margin trading, and I still am 100% on board with trying my best to go 500 to 10K. But with that being said, it might just be a different scenario now where it's going to be primarily shorting instead of going long, and it just gives a different perspective. But you have to be able to do both to be a good trader. You have to be able to do both, and it's going to make me be that much smarter and that much more sticking to my rules. Sticking to my rules better, because that's what got me in trouble. I didn't stick to my own rules. I knew what I had to do. I didn't do it. So, that being said, guys, I'm not buying back any more margin until I get a clearer view of what's going to happen. Because right now we're in a position, we've kind of created this range here, and you can see we honestly almost got a little bit of a support line here, which honestly this triangle could be made as a descending triangle. I'm going to make this real quick as a descending because I kind of see this support line here being a little bit more. Sometimes I go to wicks, sometimes I don't, and it just seems to be, whichever one makes more sense in how the market's moving. In which case, I think we'd be this would be more of a it's going to be more of a falling wedge than a triangle, because we're looking more along the lines of, if we're going by touches from the body of the candle, now this is looking more, no, it's still a triangle, just we're probably more along that line. We're probably actually, that's probably more legitimate. What's the word I'm looking for? This is probably a more accurate depiction of where we're actually at, looking at the bodies. In which case, it could be a little bit unnerving that today we've already tried to touch this resistance and have failed. But again, I'm going to look and wait. I'm waiting to see if we break down, if we break out of this down in any significant matter, going short 100%. Bear market, going short. We're going to go short down to about 30K. And we will retest where this stopped, where this bottomed out here at 30,000 even. And that would make sense to consolidate. You know, we touched it, we consolidate, and then bam, we go down, and now we're sitting at 30K. And we have to see what happens after that. Or, you know, there's a potential to go break up and then get stonewalled by the 200-day. Again, guys, I'm kind of talking in circles, and I don't mean to, but at this point, I am not sure on this, and I'm not going to pretend that I am. I'm going to give you a couple different scenarios, and anybody can do this. And I know I'm not doing anything special by saying, well, there's a couple different scenarios that could happen. Right now, none of which are particularly good. This is not a particularly strong looking market, because it would take a lot to break, not only break out of this falling resistance, but to break out of that falling resistance and break the 200-day moving average to get out of this bear market. I don't see it happening yet. I think we go bear. I think we're looking for shorting opportunities. So I'm going to be looking for, like right now, if I was in right now and betting my own money. And again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I just got back from vacation. I'm not even really aware of what the market's been doing. I'm just catching myself back up. But if I were to place my own money on this, I would go short right now. I would go short and say the most likely scenario is that, you know, we failed here to break this, and you know, the next day or 2 days we're going to come back down and at least see 34 if we don't break directly, if we don't break completely out of it, and then see 30. So if I had to make any call on what I would do right now, I would short at this point and look for a target of 34K or 30K. And I'm not looking at any other coins until we get a definitive action on Bitcoin, because at this point, you know, Bitcoin goes up a little bit, the other coins rocket up, but as soon as Bitcoin starts to fall, everything else starts to fall with it. And we need to know a general direction, because you can't go short on Bitcoin and go long on something else. It's not going to be typical. There will be some coins that go against Bitcoin in the market and they don't go totally bearish. But for the most part, the market's going to follow, and it's going to be if Bitcoin stays bear, the market stays with it. But if you take nothing more away from this video, is that the biggest mistake that I made was right here. I don't know why I had this highlighted, but I would love to say that I have this highlighted, because this is where I made my mistake, where the price action did not see a support at 50-day moving average. Should have been my signal to know this was a bear trap, or this was a bull trap, because it started to buy back up and it started to look good, but it never really picked up above that 50-day, and it could have gone short at any point off of this 50-day moving average and had massive gains. C'est la vie. You live, you learn. Anyway, guys, that's the video for today. Like if you like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I'm going to start going about 3 days a week on videos, so I'm not going to keep trying to do every day. It's been a little bit taxing on me, so look for 3 days a week, and until next time, peace.